halt, no more items to run. If you don't have anything programmed, it'll halt the line telling you you're going to generate scrap if you don't program something behind the order that you already have in there. So if you're doing 1 or 2 items at a time, like we're going to be doing, I usually put no in there. But you could put yes, halt if there's no more orders, because you'll generate scrap, especially if you're hole punching and stuff. It'll go right into the next order, and you'll generate less scrap if you tell it to halt, if you don't have orders. But for what we're doing, we're going to say no.
Okay.
Part code change stops queue. I usually put this on never, unless you're running the software in the office with the AMS Eclipse and you're putting part codes in here and printing on stuff. It really doesn't make sense to use half the stuff that's in here. You're just going to be stopping the line and entering numbers. Unless you're using them for something, it doesn't mean anything but the guy that put it in there. Now, if they're using the software in there and generating the orders and sending them out here from the computer, then they can put part codes on there, and that tells you the size of the stud, the gauge of the metal you should load in the machine, so the guys out here can look at it and know what they need to run. But if you're not doing that, it's all you're just punching numbers in here just to know that you can. If you're not using that information. So I normally put never unless I'm using the software. For stopping reaction mode, this is set on automatic, so it's constantly monitoring what it's doing as far as length, and so it automatically changes that stopping reaction. Again, stopping reaction time, it's constantly changing that. Now our tolerance, this is our length tolerance. We've got it set at a 1/2 inch. Normally we want a big window to start with, so that we know it's going to be within a 1/2 inch tolerance. Then if it's off, we can go in and do the trim correction and set it kind of like you do with the roof panel machine, calibration. It's the same basic principle. You can calibrate the length if it's off, but if you put too small a window, say, well, we want 1/16 of an inch. Okay, you put 1/16 here, it'll run out and it'll say out of tolerance. It'll flag up and stop the line, out of tolerance. You got to get clear, bypass it, keep kicking it out of tolerance until you get it dialed in. Then you can shrink that number. Normally I leave this 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. Doesn't hurt to have that tolerance range open. The bump tolerance, typically you want inside of your, if it gets out of that 1/2 inch, then that's what the bump tolerance is for. I could put that at 0.1, 100,000. So if it gets out of that 1/2 inch, then it'll stop and bump back and forth. Bump time, skipped over that. Bump time, usually we want 0.01, so we just wanted to bump the valve just a hair back and forth. Slow output, we don't have the 1-speed. Stacker dwell, we don't have a stacker on it. Part per stack. Test part length, normally I don't put that in there, it's not real necessary. Coil inventory, again, if you're using it from the